From Oppenheimer being released on the same day as Greta Gerwig's film, to blockbusters like The Iceman and Iron Man 3 setting a precedent, here's why the Barbie movie is in major trouble. The 21st of July, 2023. Yep, that's the date that has been stuck in my mind for quite some time now because it's the day Barbie will hit the big screens. But the movie won't be as big a hit as everyone expects it to be. Yes, folks, this will be an unfortunate scenario in which two summer big-budget blockbusters will collide. My absolute favorite filmmaker of all time, Christopher Nolan's historical thriller, Oppenheimer, will be in theaters on the very same day. It'll be a clash of the titans. And now the big question is, who'll emerge victorious? Will it be the fanciful comedy in which the beloved doll wanders out of her sun-soaked fantasy land into the real world? Or will it be the highly anticipated biopic about the inventor of nuclear weapons, or as the world knows it, the atomic bomb? We'll just have to wait and see who works best, a haunted Cillian Murphy or a glowing Margot Robbie. So what's the hype around Oppenheimer? While Barbie has big names like Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, and Simu Liu, Nolan's new movie is no less of a marvel itself. A period drama about the father of the atomic bomb, having an ensemble cast of some of the biggest names in Hollywood, like Robert Downey Jr. and Florence Pugh. And while I'm looking forward to Barbie, I can't help but admit how intriguing Nolan's movies are. His keen understanding of the cinema language in independent dramas and blockbusters means his name attached to a project carries a lot of weight. Oppenheimer is one of the most anticipated movies across the globe, along with Barbie, so it'll all come down to the box office on the big day. Not only that, even Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 is all set to release on the 12th of July, 2023. Yes, the Top Gun actor's new movie is also one with a huge budget, all set to hit the big screen in July, along with Barbie and Oppenheimer. This gets even more twisted because the release date for this action spy film has been changed 4 times by Paramount Pictures before finally deciding on the final date. Tom is currently in a cold war with the Interstellar filmmaker over premium IMAX theaters because most of the income streams from them, so it becomes crucial for producers and directors to make sure that their movie occupies a good IMAX screen time. Oppenheimer being released on July 21, 2023, means that Cruise's film will only stay in theaters for roughly 9 days. This made the Mummy actor complain to Paramount executives about how his competitor's movie will be taking all IMAX screens in North America and other territories for 3 weeks following its release. That's why the American actor was trying to get either Barbie's or Oppenheimer's dates moved. Despite all 3 movies being released so close to each other, Cruise's Mission Impossible might be a huge success, just like his 2022 movie, Top Gun: Maverick, which received great reviews at its world premiere in Rome. Apart from IMAX, the 60-year-old also has his eyes set on Dolby Cinemas, so it'll be tough for Barbie to reserve a spot in these premium theaters for at least 4 weeks. The movie, a comedy based on a popular kid's toy, has gotten a lot of hype and craze, and is expected to gross a significant amount at the global box office. But the question arises, can it do great even without premium theaters? Unfortunately, Barbie will have to only settle with standard ones. Because of the dispute between Cruise and Nolan, the movie can be overthrown by Mission Impossible, since the dates are so close together. Oppenheimer will directly affect it, but both these movies are huge and are likely to overshadow Barbie. But Nolan's spy film and Gerwig's comedy movie can both turn out to be successes without ruining each other. In the past, studios normally have a one big film per week release strategy, particularly in the summer movie season, which has high stakes since it's also the holiday season. In the case of the Barbie versus Oppenheimer clash, from a marketing perspective, having 2 genres of film can be good for business. It ensures there are options for all types of audiences. Oppenheimer will attract older male viewers, while Barbie will pull younger females. If both audiences turn up in full force, the 2 movies can be successful. Some even say that because of their different genres, the actual competition lies between Cruise and Nolan. So is it a coincidence that both films are being released on the same day? I guess not. It was revenge by Warner Brothers from Universal Pictures for snatching away the Inception filmmaker. Nolan and Warner Brothers were a match made in Hollywood heaven for the longest time, turning out one box office hit after another, including the Dark Knight trilogy. But what happened, which caused them to go their separate ways? The Tenet director opted to end his 2-decade working relationship with Warner Brothers at the end of 2020, when the studio's former owner, Warner Media, made streaming a priority over theatrical amid the pandemic. Nolan wasn't in favor of the move and relayed his views to The Hollywood Reporter, saying that some of the industry's biggest filmmakers thought they were working for the greatest movie studio, only to find out later that they were working for the worst streaming service. After leaving Warner Brothers, he collaborated with Universal Studios for the first time. The filmmaker had conditions to work with Universal, including a summer release date and a commitment that the studio wouldn't release any other film 3 weeks on either side of Oppenheimer. Warner's had already chosen the same weekend for John Cena's Looney Tunes film Coyote vs. Acme before Oppenheimer came along, but the studio switched courses in April 2022, announcing it had instead opened Barbie on July 21st, 2023. But why didn't either Universal or Warner Brothers change release dates? It's because Universal couldn't. Changing the date would mean losing a filmmaker they'd worked hard to get, and they didn't want to take that risk. As for Warner Brothers, they might be deliberately trolling the man, who publicly criticized the company after such a long working relationship. Even though the new regime at Warner Brothers Discovery is eager to mend relations with Nolan, this raises questions about why Barbie didn't move, if they were so keen to make amends. Or do they have a lot of confidence in the project and are sure it'll win in the potential box office competition? From what I'm hearing, Barbie is likely to open ahead of Oppenheimer because early tracking and various polling services suggest that the female-fueled movie will beat Nolan's epic drama. A clash of two blockbusters isn't uncommon in history, though. Like Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and Zombieland, Double Tap opened on the same day in 2019. While the movies were different, they had qualities that appealed to both teens and families. Maleficent opened at about $37 million, while Zombieland opened at about $25 million. This wasn't a good enough performance, though. Experts believe that if either of those films had opened just by themselves, they would have hit closer to $40 to $50 million. If you thought that wasn't too bad, wait till you hear about The Lone Ranger, which was released on the same day as Despicable Me 2. On the 3rd of July, 2013, Disney's The Lone Ranger, a larger-than-life Western starring Armie Hammer and Johnny Depp, came out. The movie had a lengthy and difficult production, and Disney spent a huge amount marketing the movie, but it appeared alongside one of the most profitable animated movies of all time, Despicable Me 2, which made around $970 million. And the Western, which had a $250 million budget, only went ahead to make $260 million. Sadly, the flop was a result of the marketing clash of the Titans, which is what happened to the entertaining Lone Ranger. The next movie I'm going to talk about had some really tough competition because it was released on the same day as Iron Man 3. The Iceman, with a chilling performance from the great Michael Shannon, was released on May 3rd, 2013, with the actor playing true-life hitman, Richard Kuklinski, who for years led a double life as an ordinary husband. With a great supporting cast, The Iceman deserved to have a bigger audience, yet it was stuck on the same day as the popular Iron Man 3, with little fanfare. That's sad, because Shannon's performance was a true marvel. While Tony Stark may have science and armored suits, he wouldn't stand a chance against Shannon's glowering Kuklinski. So there you have it. From blockbusters like The Iceman and Iron Man 3 colliding in the past, to Oppenheimer being released on the same day as Greta Gerwig's fantasy comedy, that was why the Barbie movie is in major trouble.